Okay, so getting people into the business. Now, you originally, I imagine, started with just content marketing because you were blogging, and that's how I came to know of you originally.
Yeah. It was just me and the blog. There was no business.
And that
No,
was so it was just a blog. There was no real
exactly. It
point
was
to it.
just me because like I had a failed startup before I launched ConversionXL. I had a what's kind of like what Teachable is today,
Uh-huh.
SaaS platform to build your own courses
Oh, I didn't know
ahead
that.
of its time,
Huh.
and it failed. And so after it failed, I told myself, it failed because I had no name recognition, no audience, no money to buy the audience. So for my next business, I'll build an audience first and figure out what to sell them. And then I started ConversionXL. Just started producing content and building an audience.
So
And
and so all your business just started coming from that.
exactly
Is
right.
that how you would start it today?
Yeah. So today you wouldn't be able to rely on just blogging, especially because the way Google works, the backlinks. I mean, the old guard, they have all the backlinks, and there's no way for you to ever outrank them. I think if you start a marketing blog today, it needs to be. I don't even know what needs to happen so you would get more backlinks than HubSpot or
Mm-hmm.
like it's just uphill battle. But you can definitely then do all the other media available to you, social media, YouTube, podcasting. So audience building, I think, would still be the way to go for most businesses that don't have that much money.
Um, so with content marketing, here's one interesting thing I've had because obviously with copywriters, everyone's like, "Can you send me a copywriter?" But I always like, wait. Let's unpack what you just asked me. What you're really asking me is, can I get you someone who's going to write content that gets you on the first page of Google?
Hmm.
That's what they're asking, right?
Hmm.
In my experience. But here's the thing: it's really hard to find that person that's good at all these things, especially the writing part. Have you ever seen a company that really crushes content marketing where the founder was not good at it? So, for example, there's like AppSumo, but Noah was good at making content far
Hmm.
before AppSumo. The Hustle, Sam's really good at making content. HubSpot, Dharmesh was really good at making content. So they crush content marketing because the founders were good at it. Do you know any examples where the founders or original cast of crew was not good at it and then just killed it? Because I kind of struggle to think of any.
Nothing immediately pops into my head. Like Intercom, also the founders were
They were good.
prolific writers about product.
Basecamp,
Same with Drift, like
Basecamp,
David. Yeah,
Jason Fried was great.
yeah. So I think these are like A CEOs who get marketing and B, are good writers. And I think if you're a founder, you need to be kind of a good communicator because, like, the vision and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff, you need to be creative. And I think writing is just a channel for it,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Yeah.
So, you have a concept that I heard on Ross Hudgens'
Hmm.
podcasts, who I also had in here. You said a lot of content goes into the sea of sameness.
Right.
I don't know if you invented that word, but that's a good word. Um,
Did not invent, unfortunately.
what do you mean by the sea of sameness? Like, what happens? How do you avoid it?
Well, let's say I'm starting a new copywriting blog tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, the obvious stuff is like, oh, I should write blog post on how to write a good subject line and how to write a good headline. It's been written to death.
Mm-hmm.
There's literally nothing new to add to the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
unless you're a true original thinker, which might be possible, but it's very hard to be a truly original thinker. There are very few people around like that in the
Mm-hmm.
world. Like, I'm not one of them. So you can't do that. But that's the first instinct. They go to Ahrefs or whatever, SEMrush, look at the keyword volume. Oh, how to write a good headline. That's what people are searching for.
Mm-hmm.
Let's write a blog post just like that. But nobody gives a shit because it's been written to death. You will never outrank who's already there, and all that stuff. So the better way is to, I think today would be to innovate with the format, would be to innovate with like just do something that hasn't been done yet.
Mm-hmm.
So one example I like is guys who have growth.design.
Mm-hmm.
So they do basically these growth case studies where instead of a blog post, they have like basically it's kind of like a web slide deck where you click next and then they do teardowns of how Uber got big or whatever case studies, growth case studies. And you click through and there's animations and it's like custom designs and like serious effort goes in there. I think on Twitter, the guy told me like 40 hours goes into like one
Damn.
producing one or something. However, if you look at their backlink profile, they are earning all the backlinks because it stands out.
Mm.
And if content is hard to produce, that is your moat. Because most people out there are not ready to put in that kind of work and resource.
Mm-hmm.
And there are other examples like this where you come in with content that others haven't seen before. You earn all the backlinks, and once you have enough backlinks, now you can start writing about how to write a good subject line because you can actually compete in the Google rankings with your newly gained backlinks.
Hmm. One interesting thing was whenever we changed the domain about a month-ish ago, we lost a
Hmm.
lot of our SEO rankings, right? So we lost a lot of email signups, but the funny thing was our revenue wasn't really impacted at all. So a lot of the people coming for SEO were coming for some of those beginner articles
Oh yeah,
and some of the like insert copywriting examples, like those types of things.
totally.
Those people, those definitely got links. So we liked that part. It turns out like the customer acquisition of it was not that good though on some of
I
those
mean,
things.
have seen it time and again for CXL blog, and we do pretty well. We're like I think 250,000 a month traffic wise, and a lot of it is this top of the funnel, how to do XYZ
Yeah.
content. And I've seen many of my own CRO and content people on my staff over the years. And the first instinct for any marketer that comes on is like, oh, yeah, let's put a call to action in one of those blog posts and send them to this page where they can then buy shit.
Hmm.
Especially like our agency retainers are like starting from 15K a month. So, like, minimum contracts like $120,000.
Hmm.
How to write a good headline, the click through to $120,000 commitment doesn't happen. The world
Yeah.
the world does not work that way. So most of the top of the funnel basic intro level content brings you traffic because most people are beginners. But those are the people who are not in charge of budgets.
Yeah, Ross Hudgens once again talked about that with his tiny little YouTube channel, which is great. That's such a good YouTube channel, but has like under 3K subscribers.
Hmm.
And he's just like, we were going to go down the road of like best ways to improve your SEO in 2020. The problem is those people don't drop $300,000 a month on his agency,
Totally.
right? So the director of L'Oreal is not looking up like those types of things
Exactly
generally.
right. Exactly
Yeah.
right. So there's less competition also in the, let's say, advanced level content. So, or, I don't know what the top 5 problems are for the L'Oreal CMO, but if you can create a YouTube channel to catering, do cosmetics, perfume company CMOs, I'm sure you'll make way more money than any beginner level content.
Yeah. That's a good point. So, have you all started focusing more on social, YouTube, Instagram, or anything like that with some of your content, or not really?
So, I mean, we have our channels and we have a company Instagram handle and all that stuff, but it's not really doing anything business wise. And my thinking of social media right now is that if you have the brand handle, this is like the old school press releases. This is company announcements. Yet the way you play the social media game is through personalities, people who work at the company.
Mm,
So Noah has his own YouTube channel. Is not that AppSumo presents or
yeah.
whatever. It's not Sumo Link's
Yeah.
channel.
And his channel does better than the AppSumo channel because it's a brand personality, and he's a
Exactly, and
personality.
we can look at Dave Gerhardt is a great example. Like his company, the company he works at, Privy. I don't even know if they have a hand. I'm sure they do have
Uh-huh.
company official handles also saying that we released these new features or whatever. But nobody gives a shit. They want the real people behind the brand, and this is an emerging trend in B2B
Mm,
SaaS where everybody in the marketing growth team has to have their social. They need to be active on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on whatever channels make sense for them,
mhm.
and then that lifts the brand. So social media marketing is done through people.
Interesting. Like for Ahrefs news, I don't follow the Ahrefs accounts or anything like that. I follow Tim Sulu,
Exactly.
right, on his personal account, not
Tother.
all that other I don't want to listen to their stuff for
Yeah,
some reason.
exactly right.
Yeah.
And then I mean, those personal brands is also what lifts the brand. Like so, Rand Fishkin has the new company Spark Toro. We would not even know that Spark Toro exists were it not Rand.
Hmm. Interesting. I like that it's about social media is about the people behind it, not the actual company. That's a great way to think. So I
And
guess
like
if someone's like thinking about making a company Twitter, it's probably best to have one of the employees or them